ESPN analyst says Myles Garrett contract tweak sets stage for trade away from Cleveland Browns. ESPN analyst says Myles Garrett contract tweak sets stage for trade away from Cleveland Browns. On March 26th, ESPN personality Evan Cohen said on Unsportsmanlike, he thinks the contract change will pave the way for the Browns to trade Garrett before the 2026 season. He never should have been on the Browns last year, Cohen said, per ESPN Cleveland's X account. The moment he asked out, the Browns should have taken advantage of that and said, "We love you. We're going to retire your jersey." I think it would be ridiculous for him to play another game for the Cleveland Browns. Here is your opening. Cohen listed teams he thinks should call the Browns in an effort to acquire Garrett, who has a no-trade clause. They included the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, New England Patriots, Chicago Bears, Dallas Cowboys, and Houston Texans. Someone should take advantage of this, he said. Jason Fitzgerald of OverheCap.com was perplexed by the move, but agreed that a trade could be on the horizon. The Browns don't gain any cap room by making this move unless they actually change the option amounts this year. They already had the lowest cap charge possible for Garrett, outside of converting some per-game bonuses to a signing bonus. All this does is give the team the maximum flexibility to trade Garrett, assuming they were to get him to waive his no-trade clause, Fitzgerald wrote. Garrett has 125.5 career sacks, the most in Browns history, and 48 more than second-place Bill Glass. He is a two-time AP Defensive Player of the Year and a five-time first-team All-Pro. Garrett has 125.5 career sacks, the most in Browns history, and 48 more than second-place Bill Glass. He is a two-time AP Defensive Player of the Year and a five-time first-team All-Pro. Enjoy free coverage of the top news and trending stories on the Big Lead. March Madness 2026 Sweet 16 TV schedule, game times and dates for NCAA tournament. MLB. Who has the highest opening day payroll in MLB? Not the Dodgers. NFL. Raiders Ashton Jandy weighs in on Fernando Mendoza-Ty Simpson debate. Sports media. 2026 MLB opening day TV schedule, full list of games. Entertainment. 2026 Sports Emmy Awards nominees, full list announced. Viral. Best and most outrageous MLB ballpark foods for 2026 season. In the ever-shifting theater of the NFL, where loyalty often bends beneath the weight of strategy and salary caps, a quiet contractual tweak can echo like thunder. Such is the case with Myles Garrett, the dominant force of the Cleveland Browns, whose recent contract adjustment has sparked speculation, intrigue, and a looming sense of change. At first glance, the move seemed procedural, just another financial recalibration in a league built on complex cap management. But beneath the surface, analysts, including voices from ESPN, have pointed to something more deliberate, a subtle repositioning that could pave the way for Garrett's departure from Cleveland. Garrett is no ordinary player. A two-time Defensive Player of the Year and record-breaking pass rusher, he represents the heart of Cleveland's defense and, in many ways, the identity of the franchise itself. His 23-sack season in 2025 redefined excellence, cementing his legacy as one of the most feared defenders in football. Yet, even greatness is not immune to the business realities of the NFL. The Browns' recent contract modification altered the timing of Garrett's option bonuses, pushing critical financial decisions from early in the league year to just before the regular season. This shift may appear minor, but its implications are significant. By delaying these payments, Cleveland gains flexibility that becomes especially valuable when contemplating a blockbuster trade. According to reports, this restructuring allows the Browns to better manage their salary cap, while also making Garrett a more attractive acquisition for potential suitors. In essence, the contract has been reshaped not just for convenience, but for possibility. And possibility is where the narrative grows compelling. An ESPN analyst suggested that this tweak sets the stage for a trade, a statement that reverberates across the league. It is not a declaration, but a signal, a recognition that in the NFL, actions often speak louder than official intentions. Teams rarely admit they're preparing to move a superstar. Instead, they adjust, reposition, and wait. For Cleveland, the timing is curious. The team has already navigated free agency and holds workable cap space. So, why make this change now? Why introduce flexibility unless it might soon be needed? One answer lies in the Browns' broader trajectory. Since acquiring quarterback Deshaun Watson in a massive deal, the franchise has been navigating the consequences of a top-heavy payroll and limited draft capital. The pressure to compete immediately has intensified, but results have not always followed expectations. In such an environment, even a player of Garrett's caliber becomes part of a larger calculation. Trading him would be seismic, a move that signals either a reset or a radical reallocation of resources. It would likely command a historic return, potentially multiple first-round picks, and reshape the future of whichever team acquires him. Speculation has already begun regarding possible destinations. Contenders in need of a defensive cornerstone, teams on the brink of a championship, could see Garrett as the missing piece. The appeal is obvious, a generational talent capable of transforming a defense overnight. Yet the situation is far from simple. Garrett's contract includes a no-trade clause, granting him significant control over his future. Any deal would require not only agreement between franchises, but also Garrett's approval. This adds another layer of complexity, turning potential negotiations into a delicate balancing act of ambition, preference, and leverage. There is also the emotional dimension. Garrett has been the face of the Browns through years of rebuilding and resurgence. Trading him would not just be a football decision, it would be a cultural shift, a message to fans that no player, no matter how iconic, is untouchable. And yet, that is the nature of the modern NFL. The league thrives on movement, on the constant reimagining of rosters and futures. Contracts are no longer static commitments, they are living documents, tools to be reshaped as circumstances evolve. In this context, the Browns' decision is less surprising and more emblematic of the times. Still, uncertainty remains. Some analysts argue the restructuring is merely a practical move, designed to ease cap pressures and maintain flexibility without any immediate intention of trading Garrett. After all, elite players are rare, and letting one go is always a risk. The Browns could simply be preparing for